Hey, and welcome to a new Shadow Sister Healing video. This is my Friday love reading, and I'm reading you Grimm fairy tales. And as in the picture, I'm dressed today as a wolf. And then we have also this costume. You have selected this 8 of Pentacles card and Solar Plexus Chakra. I hope my reading will be a little bit faster than the first one. The story was very long. We will see now what is your fairy tale. The Queen Bee. Okay, and then before we read this fairy tale from Grimm, I will see what are the feeling part, how your person is feeling of you. Because today I do also a spread for you about magic of you. Look into it, the tarot cards, about how a person feels about you and the magic they see in you. But now, first, just feeling cards. Wow. Together with this obsession, they really are looking at you. Obsession, addiction, watching from afar, need to control, attached, need to know, wow. They have this wow effect with you, like wow, can't move or understand how someone is so amazing, curious. Okay, somebody is completely infatuated by you. That's how they're feeling. Then, levels of consciousness. Levels of clarity, understanding consciously, intensity in love. The source is simple and single, but its gifts are infinite. You are the source. Okay, so they have this level of consciousness going on. They understand that love is one of the highest, but even creativity is more higher. But now Queen Bee. I'm going to read about Queen Bee. I think the Queen Bee story is quite short, so I can read it completely. Now, let me see if I can do it any shorter. So the picture is like this. There is this one brother who is very nice to the animals. There's always in fairy tales like 3 brothers or 3 something. Now we have first 2 brothers. 2 king's sons once started to seek adventures and fell into a wild, reckless way of living and gave up all thoughts of going home again. Their 3rd and youngest brother, who was called Wittling and had remained behind, started off to seek them. And when at last he found them, they jeered at his simplicity in thinking that he could make his way in the world, while they who were so much cleverer were unsuccessful. But they all 3 went on together until they came to an anthill, which the 2 eldest brothers wished to stir up, that they might see the little ants hurry about in their fright and carrying off their eggs. But Wittling said, "Leave the little creatures alone. I will not suffer them to be disturbed." And then they went further and until they came to a lake where a number of ducks were swimming about. The 2 eldest brothers wanted to catch a couple and cook them, but Wittling would not allow it and said, "Leave the creatures alone. I will not suffer them to be killed." Yeah, this brother seemed to be very like a nature protector and now even a vegan. And then they came to a bee's nest in a tree, and there was so much honey in it that it overflowed and ran down the trunk. The 2 eldest brothers then wanted to make a fire beneath the tree, that the bees might be swallowed by the smoke and then they could get their honey. But Wittling reprimanded them, saying, "Leave the little creatures alone. I will not suffer them to be stiffed." At last, the 3 brothers came to a castle where there were in the stables many horses standing, all of stone, and the brothers went through all the rooms until they came to a door at the end secured with 3 locks. And in the middle of the door, a small opening through which they could look into a room. And they saw a little grey-haired man sitting on a table. They called out to him once, twice, and he did not hear. But at the 3rd time he got up, undid the locks, and came out. Without speaking a word, he led them to a table loaded with all sorts of good things, and when they had eaten and drunk, he showed to each his bedchamber. The next morning the little grey man came to the eldest brother, and beckoning him, brought him to a table of stone, on which were written 3 things directing by what means the castle could be delivered from its enchantment. Yes, they were in the enchanted castle. The first thing was that in the wood under the moss lay the pearls belonging to the princess, 1,000 in number, and they were to be sought for and collected. And if he who should undertake the task had not finished it by sunset, if but 1 pearl were missing, he must be turned to stone. So the eldest brother went out and searched all day, but at the end of it he had only found 100. Just as was said on the table of stone came to pass, and he was turned into stone. And the second one found 200, and as well was turned into stone. Then the 3rd one went to the forest. And so at last it was Whitling's turn, and he began to search in the moss. But it was very tedious business to find the pearls, and he grew so out of heart that he sat down on a stone and began to weep. As he was sitting thus, up came the ant king with 5,000 ants, whose lives had been saved through Whitling's pity, and it was not very long before the little insect had collected all the pearls and put them in a heap. Now the second thing ordered by the table of stone was to get the key of the princess's sleeping chamber out of the lake. Princesses, many. And when Whitling came to the lake, the ducks whose lives had saved came swimming and dived below and brought up the key from the bottom. The 3rd thing that had to be done was the most difficult, and that was to choose out of the youngest and loveliest of the 3 princesses as they lay sleeping. All bore a perfect resemblance of each other, and only in this perfect the only difference in this, that before they went to sleep, each one had eaten a different sweetmeat. The eldest a piece of sugar, the second a little syrup, and 3rd a spoonful of honey. Now the queen bee of those bees that Whitling had protected from the fire came at this moment, and trying the lips of all 3 settled on those of the one that had eaten honey, and so it was that king's son knew which to choose. Then the spell was broken. Everyone awoke from stony sleep and took their right form again. And Whitling married the youngest and loveliest princess and became king after her father's death. But his 2 brothers had to put up with the 2 other sisters. So it's interesting how this story ends, like the brothers who didn't do good choices in life got also difficulties in their love life. So choice is in the heart of the tarot to make a right choice. Make a right choice. We are having here 8 of Pentacles. It's like a working energy. Somebody is working very hard. But this woman is like actually taking care of a baby. So it's definitely that is the good wife, that is the good, showing this kind of caring heart. Caring, I think she's a nice price for anybody to make this baby and be really this good, maybe is giving honey to the baby. I mean, babies should not eat honey anyway. But anyway, there is this sweetness part of this card. Anyway, there's some obsession levels of consciousness part of the relationship, and hero's journeys. That's kind of like the part of this fairy tale tool with the queen bee. That's the queen bee. Yeah, as I was talking about, just this princess that he chose was like a queen bee. Yeah, the bees too, kids. Bees too have a kingdom, and you can know the tree from the fruits. So yeah, there's a sweet baby coming from this. Okay, I am with like, what should I say next? If I do you the spread, this takes a long time, it's getting late. First we see Edmund Dulac that how your person feels about you, additional this obsession and level of consciousness. Then we have what is the magic of you. So they see there's 2 cards coming. Then we have what is the future. Okay. What is the future with the queen bee? Who is the queen bee here? What is the future? So how they feel about you is justice, beauty. This is the Libra card. Balance. They feel that you're balanced. You're beautiful and balanced, like this kid and their mother. And working hard. Ruling planet of Libra is Venus. So I think this is not a bird of a Venus, is a bird or a baby here. But okay, there is kind of like a, clearly these cards are connected. But 11 is like a manifestation number and 8 is infinity. So it's kind of like they feel really like good about you. Man or female, but they feel this devotion. The magic of you. 7 of, what is this? 7 of Wands. And 8 of Cups. 78. Interesting. That's the year when I'm born. Anyway, whoever is born 78 is a nice year to be born. I have to say, it's a horse year, earth horse. But let me see what will be the message here. Wands. A woman rests in her bed. 2 cards armed with swords lay dormant outside the room, finding solutions to one's own protection, facing dangers, searching for serendipity and safety. Okay, yeah, this is standing your ground. There is this kind of thing. It's magic of you that you are able to put the healthy boundaries and find this kind of sacred space to live and love. And 8 is usually following your own path, kind of working away. Maybe that's also magic of you that you're able to do that. Not everybody has strength in them to know what's best for them. Again, number 8, this is already 2nd time number 8 here on the table. Something with infinity. A full moon casts light on the trees outside the window of a temple inside. No, that's something wrong. No. It was not Wands, it's a cup. I'm getting tired. Where is my cups? Eight of Cups is a man departs on a boat holding all his belongings. He looks back at the place he's leaving as he sails towards the horizon. the need to leave and discover new things. Okay, but that's the magic of you. That you're able to start like from afresh and then keep your world safe. And 78. Somebody can be born also, like me. Anyway, we have then the future. Queen of Cups. Caring Queen. See. A woman sits on a rock over the sea. She ignores the view, looking instead at the viewer with a serious and earnest expression, reflecting on oneself and others, taking care of others, paying attention. Yeah, I'm identifying with this a lot because I'm living now close to the sea in Ostende. And yeah, it's beautiful to be in the nature and also in the sea. And Queen of Cups is caring queen, is really having the heart, deep nurturing, caring of others, really knowing, having the heart in the right place. Yes. So we have the Queen Bee indeed. King of Cups and Queen Bee, and even this beautiful caring mother here. So there's a lot of this mother energy, there's a lot of beauty with this Justice card. Yeah. Your ground. Very good. Very good. Let's see advice card from the 7 energies. This is something that this whole year has been the Chariot year. Whole this year is a number 7 year, 2023. And that's why I started the whole year talking about this, and now it's already in part of the year. Let's see. Close encounters. Number 10 and butterfly and cage. Okay. Key concepts: vulnerability as a strength, letting others see your wound as well as your strengths, setting healthy boundaries. Yeah, it was going with this reading. Yeah, the same. This is a time of connection that asks for you to be vulnerable and authentic. Let go of any social mask or constructs you use to keep yourself apart from others. Lower your shields and allow yourself to step into a dance of intimacy. When you become close to people, you remind yourself that you are not alone, you are part of the beautiful, meaningful bond. At a deep spiritual level, there are so many lessons offered to you in this closeness. At the social level, intimate relationships help you ignite the spark of life that is the power of affinity. You flourish as a result of offering emotional honesty, a true desire for equality, love, friendship, and laughter. We aren't meant to be alone. Yet sometimes we are wounded and we build walls around ourselves so we don't get hurt again. It's time to be honest about yours and step out from behind the barrier and engage in all of life. This is a beautiful opportunity to allow your vulnerability to be your strength as you choose to live in integrity and without artifice. Even in your work life, this mode of connection allows you to be truly present. To be yours. Wait. This is a beautiful opportunity to allow your vulnerability to be your strength as you choose to live in integrity and without artifice. This is also good in your work. And when you live this way, everything and everyone thrives. You have no need to defend yourself when you are being truly and utterly you, empowered by your raw openness and willingness to be seen. In this way, your close encounters will not fail you. There is much to celebrate when you stand eye to eye, shoulder to shoulder, sharing your heart. Very beautiful. Yeah. I'm only a bit worried about this obsession. Anyway, I think some people who have not experienced true love, they think always this negative way, like, oh, too good to be true and so on. Things can be really beautiful. I have experienced myself. Like my parents are married 51 years. Like true love does exist and I know about it. But nobody should be obsessed. That's negative. That's like be balanced. Balance is here also mentioned on the table. They are also feeling about you being balanced, so they should be balanced. Okay, we are mirrors to each other. We have selected 9 of Cups and Crown Chakra, Amethyst Crystal. Let's get started. So I have here for this cocktail week fairy tale cards. So we take immediately some little fairy tale aspect to the beginning. Let's see what kind of fairy tale character cards are coming, and then later I do a HEKATE spread. Okay, so it's only these 2. And ending card showing fairy tale ending. These are cards I use in my fairy tale tour. Sometimes in Bruges. You're always welcome to book and meet me in real life. You have River. Beautiful. Place. It's happening an escape. So escape and a river sounds almost like escaping from a prison and not leaving any tracks behind because you are walking in the river. But the ending of this fairy tale is, so the queen gave them the prize as she had promised. Something happens when river. The queen gave them the prize as she had promised. I think the queen in the story will be this Queen of Cups energy because this is a fish fulfillment card. So there is some wish that is fulfilled. That's what is happening. Now let's see what kind of escape we're talking about. Fairy tale of your deck is the 3 sisters. No, I wrote it wrong and then I corrected here because it was black. 3 spinsters. 3 spinsters is the fairy tale. So let me see. Do I read that immediately? I could. Yes. Yes. Let's start with that. Three spinsters. Where is this? Nope. 35. No. Picture is like this. Let's see. I read it from the beginning. Actually, it's not such a long story. I could read it all. I'm going to show this card here because it's almost that girl in the story. There was once a girl who was lazy and would not spin, and her mother could not persuade her to it. Do what she would. At last, the mother became angry and out of patience and gave her a good beating, so that she cried out loudly. At that moment, the queen was going by. As she heard the crying, she stopped, and going into the house, she asked the mother why she was beating her daughter, so that everyone outside in the street could hear her cries. The woman was ashamed to tell of her daughter's laziness, so she said, I cannot stop her from spinning. She is forever at it, and I'm poor and cannot furnish her with flax enough. Then the queen answered, I like nothing better than the sound of the spinning wheel, and always feel happy when I hear its humming. Let me take your daughter with me to the castle. I have plenty of flax. She shall spin there to her heart's content. The mother was only too glad of the offer, and the queen took the girl with her. When they reached the castle, the queen showed her 3 rooms, which were filled with the finest flax, as full as they could hold. Now you can spin me this flax, said she, and when you can show it me all done, you shall have my eldest son for a bridegroom. You may be poor, but I make nothing of that. Your industry is dowry enough. The girl was inwardly terrified, for she could not have spun the flax, even if she were to live to be 100 years old. And were to sit spinning every day of her life from morning to evening. And when she found herself alone, she began to weep and sat so for 3 days without putting her hand to it. On the 3rd day, the queen came, and when she saw that nothing had been done of the spinning, she was much surprised. But the girl excused herself by saying that she had not been able to begin because the distress she was in at leaving her home and her mother. The excuse contented the queen, who said, however, as she went away, tomorrow you must begin to work. When the girl found herself alone again, she could not tell how to help herself or what to do, and in her perplexity she went and gazed out of the window. There she saw 3 women passing by, and first of them had a broad flat foot, and the second had a big underlip that hung down over her chin, and the third had a remarkably broad tongue. Now we start to talk about the spinners. And I have here a spinner today. I'm going to show you where I have the story because this is meaningful. I have this from my grandma. She loved to collect puppets as I do. Let's put this here. Spinning wheel can be the table. Oh my god. Spinning wheel. Can you see the spinning wheel? Okay, let's put all this in the table. It's impossible otherwise. So the girl we put here. Here we have this. Okay, I can show this. That's great. So spinners. So she saw 3 women passing by, and first of them had a broad flat foot, the second had a big underlip that hung down over her chin, and the third had a remarkably broad tongue. They all of them stopped in front of the window and called out to know what it was that the girl wanted. She told them all her need, and they promised her their help, and said, then will you invite us to your wedding, and not be ashamed of us, and call us your cousins, and let us sit at your table. If you will promise this, we will finish all of your flax spinning in a very short time. Then this same woman came in, and she cleared a space in the first room for them to sit and carry on the spinning. The first one drew out the thread and moved the treadle that turned the wheel. The second moistened the thread. The third twisted it and rapped with her finger on the table. And as often as she rapped, a heap of yarn fell to the ground, and it was most beautifully spun. But the girl hid the 3 spinsters out of the queen's sight, and only showed her, as often as she came, the heaps of well-spun yarn, and there was no end to the praises she received. When the first room was empty, they went to the next second, and then to the third, so that at last all was finished. Then the 3 women took their leave, saying to the girl, do not forget what you have promised, and it will be all the better for you. So when the girl took the queen and showed her the empty rooms and the great heaps of yarn, the wedding was at once arranged, and the bridegroom rejoined that he should have so clever and diligent wife, and praised her exceedingly. I have 3 cousins, said the girl, and as they have shown me a great deal of kindness, I would not wish to forget them in my good fortune. May I be allowed to invite them to the wedding and to ask them to sit at the table with us? The queen and the bridegroom said at once, there is no reason against it. So when the feast began and came the 3 spinsters in strange guise, and the bride said, dear cousins, you are welcome. Oh, said the bridegroom, how come you have such dreadfully ugly relations? And then he went up to the first spinster and said, how is it that you have such a broad, flat foot? With treading, answered she, with treading. Then he went up to the second and said, how is it that you have such a great hanging lip? With licking, answered she, with licking. Then he asked the third, how is it that you have such a broad tongue? With twisting tread, answered she, with twisting tread. Then the bridegroom said that from that time forward his beautiful bride should never touch a spinning wheel, and so she escaped that tiresome flax spinning. Interesting. Oh my cards. I always trust my hand, but we have this escape here. Interestingly, I just pulled this stuff. Escape. Possibly you are escaping a bad work or something like that would be hard. Like hard destiny. You're escaping it. That's what is happening, and you're getting married with a prince who understands that you are the true princess and you don't have to be like a spinning the wheel whole day. That's what is happening here. Anyway, this river is also here. Some peaceful flow in your life. Okay, now I'm interested to see what kind of cards we are getting here. So next we are seeing the feelings of your person. Telepathy, soul connection, soul level intimacy, images as messages, intense mind reading, deep feelings. Wow, telepathy is happening. Some kind of flow. The crown chakra is very much connected to the upper realms and then to your person. Okay, heart to heart. Okay, that's wish fulfillment also. It's a beautiful thing. That kind of like in this story, the prince of course think that she was doing all the spinning herself, but still like it's beautiful and able to work so much. It's kind of like a good combination. Who wouldn't marry like something that is a wish fulfillment? So they are like treating then the person well. That also, yeah, she should not like be lazy, of course, but I mean, gets the princess treatment. It's a nice thing. Then we have these oracle cards. The Hornet card, nature, masculine energy, and abundance. Earth. And Raven, keeper of secrets. I think before I do that in the end. Yes. Now we do the HEKATE spread. So yesterday was a HEKATE celebration day, 16th of November. And HEKATE is a big inspiration to my Shadow Sister project. HEKATE and Persephone both. So here we're gonna take now cards. Spreads that is my own. If you're interested, I have a newsletter. You can always join in the description box in my website. Every month I share free these spreads with instructions. Then I have in my spiritual articles also these spreads that you can do yourself. So what I'm taking here is now a HEKATE spread. And this being this card. Something about this, maybe I have to show you. It is very nicely moving. So, first the maiden card, what you've learned as a being young person. Queen of Swords. Okay, making a very sharp cuts of being true queen, like truthful, honest, cutting the crap out. You can read about that immediately, actually. Queen of Swords. Energy coming up here. There was also this ending card with the queen. There was already in the story the one queen, the mother queen, who was looking a perfect bride to the sun, but then so the queen gave them the prize as she had promised. Queen energy coming. Swords. Here. So this is a Naga. So interesting, fantastic creatures. The legendary Nagas of India are the children of the goddess Kadru. Semi-divine in nature, these creatures have the upper body, head, and arms of human, but the lower body of a cobra. Some Nagas are quite benevolent, while others are antagonistic. All Nagas possess great supernatural powers and have access to valuable ancient books of great knowledge and magic. According to lore, the Nagas' principal home is an underground kingdom known as Bhagavati. The female Naga and the lush jungle setting on the card represent the beauty that can appear in strange forms and exotic places. The precious gems adorning her are symbols of ancient knowledge she shares. If you can bring forth your willpower to cope with an emotionally trying event, you will undergo positive growth. This helps you to be a formidable, strong-willed woman who has learned to cope with deep emotional loss. So you have accepted some losses and cut them and moved on, able to cut your losses. Yeah, that's the Queen of Swords, very like, able to cut the crap. Cut the crap. I like to use that sentence. That's maiden energy. Learn to cut the crap. Going into your big wishes, straightforward. It helps the spinsters. Mother energy then. King of Pentacles. Interesting. It's coming as the same as the Hornet card here. There is possibly some man in the picture, some wealthy man, some very grounded man that you have noticed or have noticed you, like you have a relationship possibility with this person. Some earth sign or something to do with very grounded person. Let's read about that, but it's 2 times earth already in the table. These are very similar, so that's masculine energy here, definitely. But that's the mother is nurturing that. King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. Lord of the Greenwood. Oldest form of Greenman comes from Celtic legends. God of the woodlands, animals, and fertility, the Lord of the Greenwood is portrayed in Old English church carvings as a half-seen face peering out of the leaves. Antlers grow on his head, and his eyes are brilliant and piercing. On this card, Lord of the Greenwood merges with the goddess Earth Mother. The web of life is strung behind him between 2 trees. Shown are some of the animals within his protective domain. He deeply loves and cares for each child that is born to his union with the goddess. If a person, this card represents a wealthy, secure man who is experienced in handling money. The appearance of such a man will help you in a business. You find new meaning and spiritual comfort in nature. And use this card to discover and understand future cycles in your life. Use this card to represent a reputable, stable man with good business sense. Yes. There is focus fox there next to a tree also. Able to focus well to the most important. But it's also kind of such a beautiful nature energy here. Wow. I was thinking about this love stories of Gamekeeper also. I have like, this is such like a forest man. Hornet card. Let's read that because they look so similar. What is seed card should be? Kind of like this Cobra woman is also in the forest, but that's a jungle. She's cutting the crap in the jungle. Kind of like a, what is it called? Like a, yeah, the Tomb Raider style. And then there is this woman, this man actually appearing. We have here also a river. Maybe you go some very nature place and you meet this man next to a water place. So the water is of course emotions, and flowing emotions. Anyway, it's interesting like how you kind of fit together. These people are fitting together. King of Pentacles and Queen of Swords. Just one is very like focusing on very much, this woman is focusing very much on communication and words being used and kind of thinking patterns and all these kind of beliefs. The man is more focused on the money and the wealth and the kind of like a Taurus or like earth sign, Virgo or something like a Capricorn. Yes. Hornet card. Little devilish. The presence of the Great Hornet card in a reading denotes a strong earthly connection. Abundance and fertility are present or incoming, either materially or spiritually. Take a moment to ground yourself and be thankful for this connection. This card could also indicate a need to step away and reacquaint yourself with the natural world and appreciate the beauty around you. We have here also other cards we call for future. So we have no advice in the HEKATE CROSSROAD, usually when change is happening or something is happening in your love life, what you do. So cut the crap, focus on the wealthy man, and then grounded also, somebody who is very nature oriented as well, in the sense of abundant person. It doesn't have to be necessary or money, is abundant in his being, nurturing as well. And then we have the crone energy, what the old one knows about your future. 3 of Cups. That's usually friendships. Something is happening under the surface. Where's my cups again? This card, hard to tell what it is. Read. Hippocampus. The full-size seahorses mentioned in Greek legends were the prized steed of merfolk, who used them to travel swiftly through the oceans. The ocean chariots of Neptune and Poseidon were drawn by hippocampi. These fantastical ocean creatures are portrayed with the head, body, and forelegs of a horse, but with webbed fins instead of hooves. This card has many important symbols on it. The ocean itself denotes the creative cauldron that brings all life into being. Bubbles of spiritual energy rise from the chalices. Another warm symbol. The many-colored fish represent the powers of the subconscious mind, sexuality, and fertility. You will have the opportunity to move away from an unproductive emotional situation. Success, celebration, and abundance will soon arrive. You are moving out of mental fog into a cycle of seeing things clearly. Use to uncover the real truth behind a display of emotions. The hippocampus is also useful to find the true source of an emotional problem. Going kind of deep with the emotional thing. You have maybe been telepathic. You should start talking truly to your partner about stuff, not only trusting this mental stuff. Could be just intuitively exchanged. We have HEKATE advice still. Da-da-da. What is this star? Wow. You can be a star. Pile number 2, wow. The Queen gave them the prize. She promised. You will be a star. Wow. This is very positive. This is a major arcana card. Today is the 17th of November, and this is number 17, even this card. You being a star is close, let's say. If this is happening, it's close because this is like today. Just believe me. Maybe take some powerful action with your love life. Be noticed. Seventeenth. Firebird, yeah, it's like a penis moment. Reborn from the ashes. Russian tales of the magical firebird describe the brilliantly hued bird with tail feathers, much like that of a peacock. Its lifespan is very long, and it is extremely wise and psychic. The firebird doesn't directly aid humans, but shares its knowledge. So people may learn to do things for themselves. A number of important symbols relating to the firebird's powers are prominent in the star card. Apples of death and rebirth move upward with the feathers of reincarnation to create a spiral of constantly moving energy. These symbols allude not only to afterlives, but to the cycle of change that occur with each life. The skull offers a potent reminder that the soul does not die when we give up the physical body. The nearby key indicates the skull's key role with the firebird and its connection to the spirituality, magic, and the mysteries of the universe. You will achieve success in spite of adversity and opposition because you have tapped into a new line of energy. Many good experiences are coming your way. You can use this card to remove opposition to your goals. Also use in spells for gaining self-confidence. Knowledge helpful in career building, starting a new business, or increasing success in an old one. You will be really recognized. Trust that. This is a HEKATE advice. This is really from that underground energy. Like she knows you will be a star, or you are already a star. Cool. We have still a Raven card. That's beautiful as well. Very beauty card. I'm excited always to see a Raven. Raven. Ta-da. To my table. Raven. Let's see. Keeper of secrets. Vibration is soul. Occult knowledge, magic, and mastery. The raven, like the crow and the magpie, is a magical bird, the keeper of occult secrets that inspire the soul. Associated with the dark goddess, the raven is also the bird of the Celtic king Bran the Blessed, whose head is buried on the side of the Tower of London. Legend has it that should ravens leave the tower, the monarchy will fall. Meaning, raven arrives at those times when the veils are thin between your worlds, giving you the ability to shape your reality through the integration of spirit and matter. As you let go into the void and really trust the process, you will be led to understanding of your current situation based upon knowledge of the greater picture. Trust any visions at this time and know that the nature of light is to penetrate darkness in order for integration to take place. You are in the process of shedding light upon situations in your life and are being initiated into the mysteries. Keep the secrets and hold your tongue. Let's also kind of keep your secrets. Don't spill everything. Occult gifts are being activated. So very witchy period with this Hekate celebration day even yesterday. Looks like Raven knows all about it and wanted to tell you even this wish fulfillment. If you wanted to be a witch, you will be a witch. If you wanted to be a queen with less work, you will have it as well. Like you will have this wealthy man. Yes, he will show up as well. Look at this picture closely. This is the possible person. And then this could be also possible if you are male, this kind of snake woman. The Queen of Swords. Able to speak well, express herself. Welcome to your reading, pile number 3. This is your card, Ten of Cups. Very promising for the love life. This is usually happiness, card, marriage, and a happy couple. So let's see what's coming for you. I take immediately, usually I have to reveal your fairy tale. So I'm gonna read that soon for you. The Frog Prince. That's your fairy tale. Let's see still the kind of oracle card. It's the Witch's Oracle. Wow, Wizard. Spiritual impeccability. Amazing. There's this kind of Gandalf and a lion. This is amazing advice for this reading. Something beautiful is coming. So we start very well. I'm still, before I start reading any fairy tale, I want to have some feeling cards. So you can ponder while we read this Rock Prince. To be connected, been checking what would be sometimes fairy tales, and often they are connected to certain tarot cards. And I found connection with the Frog Prince story to Page of Cups. It's very inner child healing and romantic page connected energy. It's very positive for your love life as well. I always connected Page of Cups to a Sandman, and that's meaningful for me to know because last year, next week will be a folktale week, and last year I made one story myself about the Sandman's daughter based on one tree myself, and I made paper cuts. I started these paper cuts ever since. I've been doing paper cuts also from tarot cards, but I started it last year during this folktale week, and now my intention is to do less of these tarot readings. I will do in December next horoscope readings. I only keep this Friday love reading, and then I will focus on making my own postcards, finalizing my tarot journal, and all these products. So my energy has to be focused on my creative products now. But this is beautiful for you. Let's see the feeling cards. Gift. Gratitude, feeling gifted, grateful, being gift to others, giving gifts, birthday wishes, gift that keeps giving. Wow, again, very beautiful. Like you have the 10 of Cups and then gift that keeps giving. very promising for your love relationship. It's like you are a gift to your person. I was just talking about kind of creative gifts that I'm also trying to do, like this kind of wizard way. You can get a lot done when you focus. And you should focus also with your heart. Here you have anyway third eye chakra, so it's connecting the heart and the mind, and that not every knowledge comes from the books. They come from the heart also, from the whole experience of life. You have to be able to, even actually, in order to this third eye chakra working, you have to have real life experience also. You cannot just living in your head. You have to have the whole body involved. And if this is beautiful, feeling part from your person, the gift, and also love potion. Wow. It's almost like this wizard is making like a love potion. Magical, chemistry, intoxicating, heart alchemy, flowing feelings, bottle feelings, elixir spirit, pleasure. What is this? Love. Interesting. Oh. Okay, I hear my child saying something. I have to break. Yes, this text here was very bad because of some wet has go here, but it's pleasure and love bond was the little text here in there. There's a lot of beautiful things. Frog Prince also is like a story. I'm gonna go into it now. It is about true love. But the frog doesn't seem to be so handsome first. Let's read with me. So I'm gonna show this girl here. In the old times, when it was still of some use to wish for the things one wanted, there lived a king whose daughters were all handsome, but the youngest was so beautiful that the sun himself, who has seen so much, wondered each time he shone over her because of her beauty. Near the royal castle there was a great dark wood, and in the wood under an old linden tree actually has a heart-shaped leaves. Such a cup energy here. Under an old linden tree was a well. And fairy tales always have some magical well here too. And then the day was hot. And when the day was hot, the king's daughter, the pretty one, used to go forth into the wood and sit by the brink of the cool well. And if the time seemed long, she would take out a golden ball and throw it up and catch it again, and this was her favorite pastime. Now it happened one day that the golden ball, instead of falling back into the maiden's little hand, which had sent it aloft, dropped to the ground near the edge of the well and rolled in. The king's daughter followed it with her eyes as it sank. But the well was deep, so deep that the bottom could not be seen. Then she began to weep, and she wept and wept as she could never be comforted. And in the midst of her weeping, she heard a voice saying to her, "What ails thee, king's daughter? Thy tears would melt a heart of stone." And then she looked to see where the voice came from. There was nothing but the frog stretching his thick, ugly head out of the water. "Oh, it is you, old Vadder," said she. "I weep because my golden ball has fallen into the well." "Never mind, do not weep," answered the frog. "I can help you, but what will you give me if I fetch up your ball again?" "Whatever you like, dear frog," said she. "Any of my clothes, my pearls and jewels, or even the golden crown that I wear." Thy clothes, thy pearls and jewels, and thy golden crown are not for me, answered the frog. But if thou wilt love me and have me for thy companion and playfellow, and let me sit by there at the table and eat from the plate, and drink from thy cup, and sleep in thy bed, if thou would promise all this, then would I dive below the water and fetch thee thy golden ball again. Oh yes, she answered, I will promise it all, whatever you want, if you will only get me my ball again. But she thought to herself, what nonsense he talks, as if he could do anything but sit in the water and croak with the other frogs, or could possibly be any companion. But the frog, as soon as he heard her promise, threw his head under the water and sank down out of sight, but after a while he came to the surface again with the ball in his mouth, and he threw it on the grass. So okay, the girl gets the ball, go back to the castle, is happy, forgets all this stuff, but the frog won't forget the promise. This is like an importance of when you promise something, you keep it. So the next day, when the king's daughter was sitting at the table with the king and all the court and eating from the golden plate, there came something pitter-patter up the marble stairs, and there came knocking at the door and the voice crying, youngest king's daughter, let me in. And she get up and ran to see who it could be, but when she opened the door, there was the frog sitting outside. Then she shut the door hastily and went back to the seat, feeling very uneasy. The king noticed how quickly her heart was beating and said, my child, what are you afraid of? Is there a giant standing at the door, ready to carry you away? Oh no, answered she, no giant, but a horrid frog. And what does the frog want? Asked the king. Oh, dear father, answered she, when I was sitting by the well yesterday and playing with my golden ball, it fell to the water, and so on. She tells what happened. And it's like it's not expected it to come. But then they all heard him knocking the second time and crying, youngest king's daughter, open to me by the well water, what promise you me? Youngest king's daughter, now open to me. That which thou hast promised must thou perform, said the king, so go now and let him in. So she went and opened the door, and the frog hopped in, followed at the heels, till she reached her chair. Then he stopped and cried, lift me up to sit by you. But she delayed doing so until the king ordered her. When once the frog was on the chair, he wanted to get on the table, and there he sat and said, now push your golden plate a little nearer so that we may eat together. And so she did, but everyone might see how unwilling she was, and the frog feasted heartily, but every morsel seemed stick in her throat. I have enough now, said the frog at last, and as I'm tired, you must carry me to your room and make ready your silken bed, and we will lie there and go to sleep. Okay, so practically this frog gets to her bed even, and she do that as a good girl. But the king is always like commanding her to keep the promise when she's like, no, I don't want to sleep with the frog, like, But then, yes, it's like, she put him to a corner in the bedroom, and when she had lain down to sleep, he came creeping up, saying, I'm tired and want to sleep as much you, take me up, or I will tell your father. Then she felt beside herself with rage, and picking him up, she threw him with all her strength against the wall, crying, now will you be quiet, you horrid frog. But as he fell, he ceased to be frog, and became all at once a prince with beautiful kind eyes. It's kind of weird, like the moment she's getting like mad and not wanting to do, then this prince actually turn up. And it came to pass, so with beautiful kind eyes, and it came to pass that with her father's consent, they became bride and bridegroom. And he told her how wicked witch had bound him by her spells, and how no one but she alone could have released him, and that they two would go together to his father's kingdom. And there came to the door a carriage drawn by 8 white horses, with white plumes on their heads, and with golden harness, and behind the carriage was standing faithful Henry, the servant of young prince. Now faithful Henry had suffered such a care and pain when his master was turned into a frog, that he had been obliged to wear 3 iron bands over his heart, to keep it from breaking with trouble and anxiety. When the carriage started to take the prince to his kingdom, this is like a nice extra thing about kind of like a hard stuff. So when the carriage started to take the prince to the kingdom, and faithful Henry had helped them both in, he got up behind and was full of joy of his master's deliverance. And when they had gone a part of the way, the prince heard a sound of the back of the carriage, as if something had broken, and he turned round and cried, "Henry, the wheel must be breaking." But Henry answered, "The wheel does not break. This, the band round my heart, that to lessen its ache. When I grieved for your sake, I bound round my heart." Again, and yet once again there was same sound, and the prince thought it must be the wheel breaking, but it was the breaking of the other band from faithful Henry's heart, because it was now so relieved and happy. Interesting. So this is even giving a side story, like when the frog was marrying the princess and going to back to the father's kingdom, the servant Henry was even overjoyful. So it's kind of like telling me the story, like the community is even celebrating your union, like everybody is happy that you get together, like it's like good for everybody that you are together. So let's go into this fairy tale card. Now we look the magic of you. There's a lot to be looked still. So what your person is feeling about you. There's the story of a frog. And then what is the magic of you? And what is then third card even here on the table? This wizard card. Spiritual impeccability. Something interesting. The kingdom is there actually. Like in the end, the enchanted princess bring the princess there. Is then really a lot of 10 of Cups moment here in the stories. Outcome. Ocean gift. Feelings. Knight of Wands. This is like the sexy at night, but here is this kind of like a Norwegian fairy tale. You can see it's very kind of person taking action, going with the goat, very much passion. Passion here. So, okay, the person feels passion about you. Yes. Nice. Then, 9 of Coins. That's independent person. The magic of you, they see there's like a lot of this independent wealth, abundance with your own work and labor. We'll short you read soon these little fairy tales here. That's the magic of you. And Temperance is the outcome. Wow, Sagittarius card. Heart, alchemy, and balance. In this card, a lot of is happening, a bit like Indian style. A lot is happening. Maybe a lot need to happen, like in this frog is enchanted. And takes a lot. But it's a major arcana card, so something is going in very like life path. This is happening with your relationship. And then we have here also love, potion, and gift. It looks a lot connected to this tool. It's really beautiful things. Sagittarius season is also here. This could be telling me that something with your love life is coming to this 10 of Cups moment in a Sagittarius season, so near Christmas. But this is also a lot of creative powers, at least in this card, looking like I'm also willing to take this kind of folktale week. Maybe you should connect with your creativity. Also, this wizard is busy creating here. This is very grateful of the melon that he has. Melons. Bird is kind of intuitive spirit animal also there. Knight of Wands, feelings about Knight of Wands, really the sexiest knight and fast-moving knight. Somebody is really taking action. They are not. They show that if you have whatever suitors you have, you know that this frog prince here is really taking action. They are not like a stopping. They have a lot of fire about you. So the Knight of Wands, Tatterhood, Norway, Norwegian fairy tale. The Knight of Wands represents a fearless fighter, eager to charge into battle, especially if it means defending someone she loves. Reckless and unafraid, Tatterhood grabs what she wants to claim the future she desires. Adventure, passion, a rebel, a flirt, a hot temper. 9 coins. Yes, they see you are like a rebel and a flirt. And this is the magic of you. The legend of the watermelon, Vietnam. The 9 of coins represents success, hard work, and patience have resulted in a successful harvest. And now even Emperor enjoys my PM's watermelons. The road was long and hard, but the reward well worth the effort. Independence, prosperity, freedom, maturity, self-discipline. Then we have the Temperance here. Angel card often in the tarot. Archangel Michael. In this case, it's another king. Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, India, Buddhist Bodhisattva. Temperance is about balance and meditation. It is being mutable, recognizing when to change with the times and when to change the situation itself. The Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara identities are fluid. Identities are fluid, but their goodwill remains constant. Moderation, harmony, purpose, good influence, reconciliation. And yes, this is saying something about being very like having a meditation practice would be important. In love life, of course, balance as well. Now we'll read about the wizard. That's advice for your relationship. So here is mine. We have still the love card also in the end. So stay until the end. Please read first. Very beautiful cards. I love this. Oh, 11:11. They appearing. Vibration, spirit, self-importance, impeccability, egotism would be also part of this card. Wizard is a Middle English word originating from the root vis or wise. A wizard carries spiritual and magical powers with the ability to influence energy by enchantment, occult knowledge, and sorcery. Wizard is not a masculine name for a witch. Witches can be male or female, although a wizard is always a man. Wizard reveals that you have the potential to be charismatic and influential at this time. But beware, for wizard carries a cautionary note. Are you being used or using another? When you find that you are in a position of authority, control, or influence, ensure that your powers are utilized for the greater good and not for personal prestige or gain. Do not be tempted by your ego. Impeccability is essential if one is to retain magical or spiritual gifts. We have healing gift also. Think something about this. I will read it again. Do not be tempted by your ego. Impeccability is essential if one is to retain magical or spiritual gifts. Current circumstances may be a test to see just how much spiritual wisdom you deserve to carry. Move forward with integrity. Actions taken now wield powerful results. Also in the love relationship, we will get advice for a love relationship still. This love cards, this love cards. So 1, 3, all this kind of beautiful potential here. What is the advice for Palm 3? Let me see. Let me see for you. Palm 3 this. Actions speak loudly. Express your love through actions. This person traveling with a bird. Frog prince. Maybe this. What is this bird here? Bird is like landscape. Inside, it's almost like this frog also. Something else, it's inside whole prince and the kingdom. This flying bird too. For a world inside. This was the wrong book. I was like, the numbers are not matching, but these are different. There are not so many cards as this is 49. So actions speak loudly. I don't always read this, but now I feel like I have to read this to you. Express your love through actions. Sometimes saying you love somebody is not enough. It is time to show someone how you feel. Put someone's needs before your own. This card is asking you to do something to show your love. Presenting your love without words does not need to be complex. Doing the simplest of things can make a huge change in someone's life. Allow your acts and considerations to convey your feelings to your partner. Do something for someone that you know they don't enjoy doing themselves. Turn up with items they need or like, such as flour, a favorite candy, or their dry cleaning. Your loved ones are constantly sharing their likes or pleasures. Find ways to surprise them. It is so easy to show that you care. A falcon carries a maid on its back. The daisies adorning your body imply new beginnings, optimism, or rekindling. The falcon is a signal to focus your attention or energy on what you value. deep blue of the sky emphasize the positive power of communication and the security that can be fostered in a relationship. Yes, looking very powerful. Love potion and gifts. This is also like a fast-moving energy. Action needs to be taken in this relationship, even though a lot is going on. So just to focus on your person, maybe. Give kind of like a undivided attention.